All right, Samra, we're ready to go. So hello, everyone. Welcome to Women Essentials Mentor Session with our mentor, Samra Azhar. She's going to tell us about communication models. If if I tell her a bit about herself, she is a very dynamic person. She has expertise in training and development, especially in training need analysis, employee development training, health and safety, environment training, safety management system, training and application, cabin safety management training, gap analysis and training, cabin crew safety training, career counseling training, CV writing, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, technical manual writings and its training, recruitment, performance management, presentations and delivery, and learning and development coaching and training. She loves in developing tools that helps people learn in the most simplified form. She has been at UAE, Bahrain, Oman, Africa, Nepal, and India, and the United Kingdom. Her newest learning focuses are at towards metaverse and health, safety, and environment. So she is going to tell us today what communication model is all about through discussion on each model, then barrier exercise, and then discussion of the barriers. Samra, thank you very much. You are so busy with tons of projects and you have given us this time. So I hope our audience will learn the most from your words. So thank you, Asma, for your time. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mahin. It's always a pleasure working with you, and I'm extremely sorry that I couldn't find time previously the way we committed. And I'm going to keep it short and crispy, and I would request the audience to participate when requested. I hope everybody is comfortable in talking, and this because communication will not take place if we won't have conversations. So the reason I chose this topic is over the period of 15 years of training, I started my career thinking that I am an expert of communication, and after 15 years, I feel that I still have a long way to go. It is because I went through certain training modules myself and training sessions, and I attended a lot of trainings where I understood that it's not as easy as we think it is. I hope I'm audible to everybody. I'm going to start it with a small exercise where you can see two similar pictures, and there are 10 differences in these pictures. Anybody who picks at least 6 is going to pause the session immediately, and it's required. It can leave immediately. You have 30 seconds to do that.
Hello there, monitor. I joined newly. I couldn't. May I say once again?
Yes, please.
I joined newly. May
okay,
you
I'll
say...
repeat myself. Okay.
Okay.
So in this on the can you see the slide where two similar pictures are on your screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, amazing. So these are the two pictures of same scenario. However, there are 10 differences. Anybody who picks up at least 6 in 30 seconds passes.
Yes, I've taken one.
Okay.
I believe Asad is trying to say something. Okay, anybody with at least 6?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I got one difference, and there are two toys behind the girl, and there is not in the another picture.
Yes.
Okay,
and I got one.
Find trees, mom.
Ma'am, the another difference is that Behind the door there is a what you got the heart draw in the
Uh-huh.
I found three. The cupboard,
Right.
one is round,
Uh-huh.
and the next one is heart, and also the things which are in the cupboard. The first one is some dolls,
Yes, sir. I
Actually,
got
and the
one.
next one is
excuse me,
The,
everybody. Excuse me, everybody. Actually, I think you are changing the picture because now I can't see the blue one.
yes,
The
ma'am, the
dolls
picture is
behind the
changed.
blue one.
The picture
That's
is changed,
right.
ma'am.
That's right. That's right.
Now
I always
uh,
do this. Sorry for that.
now again it's changed.
Now I can see
yeah. Now again it's changed.
I can see a candy in cat's hand,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
the
are a couple of
candles are different in
and
the kind of
there
eye.
is a yellow square in the baking tray.
And the candies which are in the table,
Okay. Okay.
they are
Baking
different
yeah,
tray,
as
yes.
well.
yes, ma'am. In the most precious one is the wall clock, the timing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very
And
much,
ma'am,
everybody. Yes.
And
Please.
the bananas, the one is 3 and the one is 2.
I think there is most difference between the flowers of the canvas. There is the left side there is one flower, and at the right side there is two flower.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent. Everybody participated. That's exactly what I wanted. If I am unable to get you to talk, then the essence of communication will fail. So what happened actually, this was just an icebreaker, so everybody feels comfortable and is always and always welcome to talk during the session. All you have to do is excuse me and ask for some time to talk, and I will let you talk. That is how we're going to conduct the whole session. So what happened, what exactly happened here is, yes, I did change the picture. First two pictures were same. There were no differences. And then later on, I changed it to another slide, and then there were differences. So that's what happened is that triggered some thought process in your minds, and you started to participate and give answers. And of course, us being humans, we want to answer and take part in activities like this one a lot. So that was the first activity which will help you understand where we will go in the entire session. This slide is very beautiful and one of my favorite slides, and it is the real handprint. It's found in southern France in a cave called Chouet Pondard. It is about 30,000 years ago that it is estimated that it was printed 30,000 years ago, and somebody tried to say that they were there. So communication was started when human being or organisms, when we started with universe, communication started at that point. It is not that communication started when schools started. It is not that communication started when organizations came into being. No, it started immediately with the inception of human being and other living organisms. So can somebody tell me that, do we communicate when there are two people or not?
Sorry, ma'am, I couldn't catch it quite. Could you please repeat?
Sure. I can repeat my question and also rephrase. Does communication require two people?
I think it doesn't matter that we are communicating between two people. There could be so many people. If we are conveying our message to a large number of people, it is also a communication.
Yes, ma'am. And yes, ma'am. And even if we look and if we deep think about that, we can communicate with our own self as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. We can communicate with ourselves and also two or more than two people as well.
Beautiful. Can you give me an example of communicating with your own self?
Yes, ma'am.
It's about, yes. Yes, please speak.
I think when we communicate with
when we
ourselves,
communicate
it is
with
a
ourselves on this
mental talking in our
time,
head.
we can stand up in front of the mirror and we can talk with ourselves.
That's
I
correct.
think it's the example of communicating with ourselves.
Beautiful, beautiful example when we try and practice or rehearse or even just to calm ourselves down. We talk to ourselves in our mind. We don't have to be speaking, but we do talk to ourselves. And you know what? That you don't have to be registering that you are talking to yourself. Sometimes it is happen, and most of the times it is happening automatically because that's how your creator created you. This is your innate quality to communicate and socialize, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these three items in this session. And again, I'm going to keep it short and crispy. Components of communication cycles. The reason I'm going to repeat something you already know is because what I've understood from my experience and what I've read and studied and trained upon is whenever we look at something very closely and we go deep into the details of something, we understand it better, and also we create perspective. And perspective is very necessary when you enter into some new theory or enter into something new in your life. You have to gain perspective before you start doing a project. So I'm going to talk about parts of communication or components or elements of communication. Number 2 is how loop of communication is completed. And number 3 is going to be the barriers, which is extremely important. And we're going to focus more on it. And the first 2, I'm going to just breeze through. So the communication cycle, can anybody tell me what can be the part of communication cycle? I think I'm going to select someone. Am I audible to Seema or Saima? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Miss Durrani, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Communication cycle can be anything. Like for example, the cycle which from where we convey our message to the whole cycle, like the mediums which are used in the communication.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I have Zainab raising her hand. Zainab.
If I didn't got you wrong, I think the communication cycles include the companies that that includes the carriage of a message. Like if we have to communicate with someone, there should be a side that we to communicate with. Like if I want to communicate with you, you should be present to we progress our communication. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, beautiful. You're getting everything, and I'll just give you some more perspective and names.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. In my point of view, communication cycle is like the thing which is going in cycling. Like if I say something to my opposite, so they will definitely say something regarding that issue. So this is the like we are like engaging in cycle.
The way we are right now, exactly, right?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Basira.
Yes, hello everyone. I want to say my opinion about this communication cycle. I think there are 4 important components, like receiver of message and message itself, and also the sender of message, and also the environment. At the end, it is feedback. Then when we communicate with each other, we send message to each other. Then the opposite side receive the message, and again they analyze our message. Then they give feedback to us. I think this is the circle of communication.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. You have covered most of it. Thank you, and thank you for making my job easy. I'm going to move on. And yes, you're right, and everybody is here is right. This is the basic model of communication cycle, how communication takes place, what all are the components. And if we look at the screen, there's the messenger, or what you said is a sender of the message. There's going to be a message, definitely. And somebody who's going to receive this message is going to be called a recipient or receiver of that message. There's some kind of environment in which this communication is taking place. That environment is going to make it happen. So we are able to communicate back and forth. For example, in this session, the environment is virtual, and we are using different technical items to make this happen. When we are having a one-on-one conversation, the environment becomes the room in which we are sitting. And whenever there's an environment, there's of course some external environmental barriers. These barriers are not limited to just environment, but all the components you see on the screen right now. There's another important thing which Basira highlighted. I'm going to come on to that later. As we all saw, components of communication sender is the person who's talking, currently me, receiver. You, in this session, you are the receiver. And whenever you start talking, you become the sender and I become a receiver and everybody else. And message is what we are communicating and talking about the topic. And noise. Can somebody tell me what does noise mean here?
Noise is a message which is not delivered according to what we want to deliver to the opposite person or opposite gender.
Thank you, Asad.
Maybe it's the noise the sender or receiver's message makes this sound, how they're enthusiastic to communicate with each other.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you for your input. Anybody else? Okay. What will happen if I lose my internet connection?
Yes, it will become as well nice because it doesn't have a proper channel as well. And also, if we are talking in an area which is not just capable to deliver a message, like if I'm talking to someone and he is standing far away from me, so that's a kind of noise as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your input again, Asad. Okay, so a thought. I'm going to give you a thought. Puppy. Puppy. Okay, now tell me, what did you think when I said puppy?
Puppy makes noise every time.
Wasn't clear.
Yes, and that was Reba.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Shiza, you were saying?
Yes, I was saying puppy makes every time noise.
That's right.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Anybody else with a different thought? Almost everybody started to think about a cute little puppy. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. We all moved from the main session, communication, myself included, because I started a discussion about it, something very different and unavoidable. This
Yeah.
is also noise. So what happens, and I'm sure it must be happening right now, while I'm talking, I'm using certain terms, certain keywords, which will trigger some sort of thought in your mind. And that thought for this session will become the noise, because you will not be able to hear me, listen to me, and thinking about something else, although present, but thinking about something else. That also is a noise. And last, I did not write the component down. Somebody, Basira, you named that component when we were at the picture of communication model.
Yes, ma'am.
What was it?
It was, I think, feedback.
Perfect. It was feedback. Communication is bound to fail when there is no feedback. For example, when I highlighted that picture and asked you to point out the differences, you started communicating. And what would have happened if you had not responded to me at all? So feedback is mandatory in order to complete the cycle of communication. Okay, I'm going to display a story on your screens, and I'm going to give you like a minute to read it, or maybe two, and it's a short story, and you will identify all 5 components of communication in that story. Time starts now. You can quickly bring pen and paper if you don't have it, because it will be required after a couple of slides. You can also raise your hands if you're done. Yes, Asad,
Yes, ma'am.
you raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, you can identify the first component, and then we will move on to Asma.
Yeah. Basically, we have the sender and receiver as well, and we have a message in this,
That's right.
and we have the feedback as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Asma. Yes, Sana.
As you know, there was 2 persons that they communicate with each other with about an idea. There was Sena, and the another was her friend Pretty. The Sena is the sender and the Pretty is receiver, and
Very
also
good.
the
Very good.
feedback the Sena gotten from her friend was also, it was considered as a feedback, But there was
Mhm.
another component as well. I cannot remember. I just forgot. My mind just went blank.
That's
There
okay.
was,
That's perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, you've identified all of them almost, and you've identified the sender, receiver, the message, and
And the message. And
yes, the message
And the
is there.
feedback
Thank you.
was that she shouldn't do what her mind was set for, but she was persisting on her idea. So there was
Mhm.
4 components: the sender, the message, sender, receiver, and feedback. Complete communication.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Beautifully captured. Thank you for participating. I'm going to move on, unless anybody else wants to. Okay, we have Shiza.
Yes, I think it's a whole communication. It's a back and forth communication. Like the sender is sending the message to her friend, the name Sneha, and then her friend is replying to her, and she is also rejecting her idea, and then giving her a feedback. So it's a
That's
whole
right.
component.
Yes, all 5 components captured. Although noise is not as highlighted as described previously.
Yes.
But yes, it must, of course, considering the environment, there must be some sort of noise. Okay, I'm now going to talk about a little bit about the formula of perfect communication. Okay, let me clear one thing. It is seldom, it is very seldom that we achieve perfect or 100% communication. I'm going to break down the communication in 3 parts, and I am going to give you the percentage of each part taking part in the complete communication cycle. I'm sure everybody is aware of these elements that require communication to be perfect. And if you, in one message, if you have 30% of your tone and you have words which are actually not as effective as we think they are, and the most of the role is played by body language or facial cues, anything and everything which is visible and visual. Keeping this in mind, 60% of body language, 30% of tone, and 7% of words. Imagine a situation you are talking to somebody on a call. Tell me what is the percentage of communication that is lost, considering this chart?
It would be 60%, because we will not be able to recognize their body language, their facial expressions.
Exactly. Perfect. Can somebody tell me what are the 2 modes of
Ma'am, I have one thing in my mind that in my point of view, that I believe that communication has no words or no language as well, because through gesture or posture we can also communicate with the opposite side as well. So in my opinion, so the words are not important,
not very important,
unless we are just engaged with the people.
Yes, we can only notice gestures when we are meeting in person. So gestures will also be minus from this communication if we are communicating over a phone or over Zoom. Yes.
Oh, yes, perfect. Yes, Priba.
As I think the annotation and the words are important, because now we have a communication, but we cannot see the body of each other. The words that we are using, we can recognize, or we can understand each other very important, that we can catch the things that you are saying or you are telling for you. We can know each other by the words. I think it's too important.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right, and everybody else is also right. all three components are required more or less in some sort of communication. But it is very, very important that communication to become very effective, it is important that all three play a role. For example, this meeting, this session, we have no body language. Although me being me, I'm being very animated. I'm moving my hands, I'm moving my head. I'm not sitting, just sitting. So,
but Mom, I'm not agree with you that the body language it means it should be 60%, because if you're not using the words which say the purpose of the thing that we are speaking about, that if we have the body language as well, I am not sure that the audience should understand that what we are telling about it, what we are speaking about.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Since there was some, I think my internet is not stable. I couldn't quite get that. You're saying you disagree with which part?
The body language it's 60% and the word is 7%.
Okay.
Yes, I'm telling that if you're not using the most useful words, so if we have the body language as well, it will not be so useful, because we have
if you
are not using the useful words or the words that the audience should understand, it will be confusing for what we are speaking about, what we are saying.
I completely understand that, and you are right.
Yes, ma'am. I want to add something here that yeah, these all three components are just interrelated with each other. If anyone if missing here, so just very difficult to understand any language or any communication. Just go further. But these are the things that need in a communication. So now I think the survey made in 2020, the survey is about that the mind goes towards the things that even just coming in the communication as well. Like we are just communicating here about the communication topic. So if you are not catching anything, so yeah.
Allow me to answer both of you. Okay, I'm going to answer both of you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So what happens, Asad is saying, and eventually saying that all three components are required. Reba is saying that words are most important, and she disagrees with the bifurcation of these three components. It is perfectly fine, as we all are talking with our own experience. The chart you see here is an ideal chart that is required for effective communication. If we remove the 60% of body language, there will be communication, but not as effective as it will be with the body language. And if we remove words, for example, if I go to Germany, I do not know German language, but I will be able to communicate with others, but not as effectively as it would have been with the words. Yes, Hina, you raised your hand.
Yes, I did. So the thing is, there is an example of text messaging and SMS.
Perfect.
And when we send a text message or an SMS, the other person do not know if you're using the right words. The other person would not be able to know that how you're feeling about it. Only your body language shows how you feel, and your tonality, the tonality of your voice shows how you feels about things, what you're trying to write.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you very much for your input. When we are using text messages, SMS, so yes, a lot of it fails. Me mostly, if I'm to trigger a thought in your minds, if you think about it, whenever you're texting your loved ones, your beloved, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, you will feel that most of the fights that take place are on SMS or misunderstanding. But there's a new research, I believe, I'm not sure if it's a research. However, I read that WhatsApp is coming close to complete communication cycle, as though you're talking to the person face to face, just because they are using, and people are using, the emojis, the feelings, the reactions and expressions given in the in WhatsApp so frequently that they're able to pass their message effectively, not as much as they would do it in person, but quite effectively in comparison to other modes of written communication, that would be email and SMS forms. So just something for your knowledge. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in this on this slide. I'm going to move ahead. It's my favorite. It takes a split second for misunderstanding to take place. Let's have a look at a video. It's one of my favorites. It indicates that there's less body language, and look what happens when there is, in this case, what happened when there was less or no body language. And if somebody or anybody at all is unable to listen, please stop me right there so we can do troubleshooting. Yes?
I can hear you.
No, I meant when I play the video, and if you are unable to hear it, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Audible?
No, it's not audible.
I'll try another way. Audible?
Yes, it's now.
Yes, it's audible.
Sorry, audible?
Yes, ma'am, it is audible, but not able to hear clearly.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. I'm going to, what I said before disconnecting and reconnecting, I'm going to share the link of these two videos with Miss Mahi, and she can share them with you. It'll be very helpful for you to understand what I meant. And I'll also share this PowerPoint with her so she can share it with you as well. So what happened is we looked at two different videos in which one was indicating lack of body language, the other was indicating only body language, and you will understand when you watch it that what happened. So we're going to talk about barriers now, the barriers to communication, the one that took place right now in this session. What do you understand by barriers? Anybody?
Yes,
May I please?
Yes, please.
You were showing us the video and we were communicating, and the internet is not working well. So it is the most barrier, the one
Biggest
barrier.
Yes.
Yes, it's a barrier, and then the language we speak and the other people from different nationalities they speak. So it is also a language barrier or communication barrier.
Yes. Okay,
So,
lovely. Now that we're already into it, I'm going to highlight and define the four pictures. It may have happened with you or not. Maybe you read it somewhere. So one language barrier is already covered by one of our delegates, is when we speak different languages, we use different pronunciations, and we find it difficult to understand sometimes, and sometimes we find it is completely impossible to understand a different language because we do not know anything about it. The other picture with the lock on skull, it shows psychological barriers. Now, psychological barriers can be defined as you, for
Emotional
example,
barrier.
beautiful emotional barriers. You have fought with somebody, you do not like somebody, and there's a huge man with the heavy mustache. The first thing that'll come into your mind is this is somebody who's very generally remains very angry, and you'll find it difficult to talk to that person. So that's a psychological barrier that you have created, and without knowing, and we as human beings, let me tell you, we have no control over psychological barriers. We have to really update our softwares, unlearn few things that are innate nature, and we have to redesign or re-strategize our minds, rewire our minds to function better. Anything and everything differs when it comes under the umbrella of human performance. You and I have different performance, and we will interpret differently because of our backgrounds, because of the language we speak, because of the beliefs, because of the brought up, because of the education, so many things. So we will always remain different people with different types of barriers. Now, you see here a lady trying to shake hand, whereas the gentleman is bowing. It's a cultural barrier, and it shows that in different cultures there are different gestures. Sometimes a nice gesture in one culture is taken as an offense in another. So we must know and learn a lot about it. And there are some emotional barriers as already described. So I'll send this video as well later. This is one of the last slides. I want participants to please have one paper blank and one pencil with them. And let me know when around 4 to 5 people have it. Just raise hands. I'll just wait for 2 or 3 more. This is the activity you will have to show on camera after it is done. So just make sure you have the things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to display a picture and you will draw it as it is and then show it to all of us, the volunteers. Thank you very much for participating. And then you will show it to all of us through your cameras and we will see the result. I'm going to change the slide now.
We are not good in drawing, ma'am.
Ma'am, please, can you re-show me that picture? I was drawing it.
I just displayed it. I did not display it before.
Okay,
This is the picture where you see when you were
I was drawing that pages. I was drawing that torn pages.
Oh no. Sorry, that's absolute failure from my side. That is the communication barrier. This is the picture I want you to draw. Is it visible to the audience?
Yes. Half.
Yeah. After 30 seconds, I will give you another picture and another and another. Draw the second one. Once participants are completed with the 2 pictures, let me know. Okay, Riba did 2, Asad did 2.
Yes, done.
All right, now I want you to separate the blank part of the paper from the part you drew picture on.
Done, ma'am.
Thank you. Please separate the blank part of the paper from the part you drew this picture on. Let me know when done.
Didn't get your point, ma'am. What do we do with this?
You have to tear the page and separate the blank part of the paper from the part you drew these 2 pictures on.
You mean we need to cut it from the page?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me know when done. Thank you. It has been cut. Beautiful. Okay. Now on the blank part, make these two. Yes, yes, you can fold the paper.
Mom, and the blank, you can send the blank part
We
of the
should
page.
draw them separately, like the picture, or no? We should draw the 3 and 4 together.
Yes. You can draw them separately, and you can draw them separately. If you want to draw it together, you can draw it together. It's not going to be a problem.
Okay.
And yes, you were asking Tahir.
I hear you, ma'am.
I can hear you.
You didn't get your point, ma'am. Right.
Okay, I requested that there are 4 parts of this picture. Draw 2 on different paper and the other 2 on a different paper.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And we have to put them together to make one picture. Is that correct?
That is going to be the essence of this exercise.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume that we're done.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. You
Yes,
mean that we must separate the paper after that? We must draw this picture?
Okay, yes. Once drawn, separate. I wanted you to draw first and second part on a different paper, third and fourth on a different. Very good. Wow, beautiful.
Very tough.
Can you join all of these pictures into this one? And show it to us.
Yes, ma'am. Cutting process has been started.
Okay. Okay. This picture is not visible. It's the camera is not focused on the picture. Okay. Very good. Okay. Wow. Good, Tahir. It's amazing. Your art skills
Is it
are
okay?
really impressive. Yes,
It's really
beautiful.
tough.
Okay, you can switch off the camera.
Okay.
Thank you for participating. Yes. And I'm sure everybody has seen the pictures. And next. We have Shiza.
Ma'am, just hold on. I couldn't
No
find
problem.
scissors, so I'm just tearing
Oh,
it
you can
with
just
my
tear
hands.
it. Yes, yes.
Yes.
If someone else wants to show it, you can. while she cuts her picture, I want to share that I use this exercise in not only communication but in several modules that I teach, and it has been the most effective exercise in
Ma'am, can you
passing the
see?
message across. I'm sorry, no. Oh yes.
Can you see, ma'am?
We have Priba's picture, and we have we can see you, Shiza. We can't see the. I think you have to flip the camera. Wow, Shiva. You're a good artist. Okay, now that everybody has gone through this exercise, and I'm sure you must have understood where I'm coming from, I have given you 4 pieces of information separately, and I gave you number of instructions to do a certain thing in a certain manner, and definitely everybody utilized their own intellect and conducted this exercise, took participated in exercise and carried it out the way they understood it. And then later on, I gave you the goal to combine it and make a whole picture like this one on the right hand side of the screen. So now it is definitely a disaster what happened. I was not clear in my instructions. I was giving you new instructions repeatedly, and I asked you to draw something you're not used to of drawing, maybe, or some people may not be used to of drawing at all. So now, can one by one, each one of us describe, keeping this exercise in mind, keeping the pictures in mind, can each one of us give me a barrier that failed this communication between us?
About the picture or about the conversation we had?
Both in general, because it was our communication, and then
Yes,
suddenly I
because
gave you an yes.
Because it was in the parts, so we couldn't understand the whole picture, right? But when we joined it, then we got to know that it's a picture of a man who is wearing a mask and a hat. Okay, and the other thing is that let me guess. Okay,
That's no problem.
anyone
Thank
else?
you. You have highlighted a very significant point, that it was in parts. I never gave you the whole picture altogether. So if I give this session not in one go, but in 3 or 4 days, so definitely it will not be as effective as it might be today. Anybody else with the barriers? What happened that we could not develop a complete picture?
Yes, ma'am. The one barrier we already discussed about that this picture is in parts and it's difficult to understand what is going to be on our page. So that's the first picture we had, and the second in that after the drawing this sketch, so we got to know that we might not show the picture as I didn't show because my sketch was very bad and I don't have no knowledge about drawing this sketch. So that's a kind of barrier as well because I didn't show that on page on camera as well.
Okay, no problem.
And
Thank you.
we were having hard time in following instructions as well.
Exactly. And why is that?
Because they were not in that sequence that we needed it to be.
Okay, perfect. Will it work if I write it down on the slide?
Yes, it would, because we will be able to follow all the instructions in one go.
And refer it back. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
But we'll go back to number 1 if you would want to, because it will be in a written form, and you if someone is speaking, they will not be repeating any of the previous instructions.
Correct. Thank you. So yes, The essence of this exercise is not to check your skill of drawing. The essence of this exercise is to see how we communicate, and every single time we communicate, it is not taken as is. There are as many words as I have spoken. I must have not given the must not have been able to create the picture I have in my mind in yours, because we are two different individuals. We are very different, and through this exercise I want to highlight that at every step of communication, within every component of communication cycle, there are barriers, and these barriers make sure that right message does not get across, but it is us that we need to identify these barriers and then eradicate or lessen them with our identification. In order, like I said in the beginning of the session, that in order to gain perspective, we need to look deeper into things. And when we look deeper, we see the problems that are latent problems hidden within. And once we identify these problems, it becomes easier to eradicate or lessen the effect of problem in one component. So this is how I try to describe what kind of barriers that may come across while you are communicating within your communities or schools or organizations or different people from all around the world, or maybe while you're just sitting alone communicating within yourself. You may find it difficult even then. Please be aware of that. This is why we are identifying these barriers. So I'm going to summarize what we understood and discussed. Is that we discussed communication model, in which we talked about 5 components, and then the loop of communication, which completes when there's feedback added. It is very, very important. And this summary slide is feedback of what we have discussed today in this session. And then we discussed a bit about communication barriers. I'm going to send these slides to Ms. Maheen and link to the videos, so you understand them better and apply in your daily life better, to have better communication. And with this, I'm going to thank everybody for their time, especially on weekend. People find it difficult to take time out because they want to spend time, rightfully so, with their families. I would like to thank each one of you, and such a beautiful participant session, because you participated and it gave me something to learn and correct in me. Thank you very, very much, everybody. And if you have any questions,
thank you, ma'am. It was really nice talking to you and had a great time with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm available, and these are my details. If not, then I will hand the floor over to Ms. Maheen.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. I have a suggestion at the end that if these sessions series can continue, so it will be very good for all of us, because we learned a lot from this as well and share our experience as well. So it will definitely, and once again, thank you from you as well.
Thank you so much. You've been a good teacher to me as well during the session. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, so much. And the thing that I wanted to ask he asked that how many days this seminar or this class will continue. If you would be with us, we will learn many things. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much. I will be in touch with Ma'am Maheen, and she'll definitely, she's doing something really beautiful, and
yes,
I will, yes, she's going to inform us whenever I can. I will be getting in touch with her.
We are thanking
soon,
from
our next
Maheen as well.
It will be as
that she manage these classes. We are thankful from both of you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear. I can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you. This is Syed Mahmoud, and I can tell, unfortunately, I joined in the middle of this lecture, and it was so interesting. Thank you very much for giving us time and so important lecture to us. And thank Ma'am Mahin as well. Would it be possible to access the today's lecture's video?
I'm sure she's recorded it.
Yeah, okay.
I believe, yeah, she mentioned it in initially at the beginning that she's recording it and also streaming it live. So I'm sure. Well, she's here, Miss Mahin.
Yeah, we will access the review of this video. Thank you, and hope you continue such programs for us.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samra. Thank you, my dear team members. These are, the backbone of our society, and I'm so proud of them.
That's
They're
right.
working really, really hard. Thank you,
Yeah.
Samra, for guiding them and giving your skills and knowledge. Much appreciated. We hope to catch you soon, Samra. Thank you,
very
everyone.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Thank you, Ma'am Mahin, for including us in the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shaza. Thank you. Much love.
I'm just Mahin.
Thank you.
Thank you, special.
Thank you. Thank you, Tahir.